Hi everyone, welcome back to Heartland Mamas. I'm Heidi Henry. Murray Briel is on hiatus, bringing you the news and views that you can use from the edge of the Great Red Divide. You can find all of our previous works at Heartland Mamas, mamas.com, all podcast platforms, and on YouTube. So, the first night of the January 6th hearings on TV. And I want to tell you, I tend to watch local news. If I'm going to watch news at all, I don't watch cable. I watch, tonight I tuned in on WGN. And the part of the reason I do that is I want a fair, unbalanced, or balanced, what do I want to say? A fair accounting of everything that's going on. So I don't want to have, a whole lot of talking heads telling me what I'm thinking, what I'm going to think about what I'm seeing. So I tuned in and just watched it. I didn't even take any notes because it was so riveting. I'd worked all day here on my farm and ate dinner and sat down to watch this recap of the insurrection. And I want to tell you, my opening thought was, this will not change anyone's mind. I think either you believe in the big lie at this point or you don't. Either you're a MAGA supporter, and you believe everything Orange Caligula has lied to you and told you to believe, or you don't. And you can see this in the behavior of the people at the top of the Republican Party. And I'm looking at you, Kevin McCarthy, because that night, the night of January 6, 2021, you called out Trump and told him what a horrible person he was. You told everybody that he should resign and step down and was unfit to lead. And within days, you changed your mind. Same with you, Mitch McConnell. Same with you, every Senate Republican. And most of the Senate or the House Republicans. And I don't want to laud and honor Adam Kinzinger because I find him to be a waste of skin and oxygen for everything but this. Everything but this. And, even my husband disagreed with me today. He goes, wow, look what a stand he's taking. I'm like, where was he on healthcare? Where was he on immigration? Where was he on everything else? So it takes an insurrection for him to finally go and find a spine. Not much of a spine, because he could have prevented this. Just saying. He helped feed this early on. He fed the Trump ecosystem. So, yeah, not a big fan of Adam Kinzinger. But when I watched this today, and I watched them build the case for which they have no teeth. I mean, the Department of Justice is the one that has to bring charges, not the people running the hearings. The DOJ, this falls squarely on them, Merrick Garland. Just letting you know. But I don't think that it changed anybody's mind at all. I just don't think so. Number one, the biggest bunch of talking heads that most of these MAGA supporters listen to, didn't even carry it today. Fox News, OAN, all of those, too afraid to cover this because they haven't got the spin down yet. It's indefensible. And when you think about all the talking heads over there in conservative radio and conservative TV and alt-right news, they're standing solid on the big lie, even though they didn't at first. Even though at first they said, hey, it's a bridge too far. Now they're like, yeah, there was no bridge. No bridge at all. No, nothing wrong. Nothing to see here. It was a big lie. La, 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 la. So I just want to recap some of the things that I heard, and I hope that you listened to heard the same things I did. This was a pre-planned. It wasn't him saying, let's go down and talk about it. Because we heard them talk about how the Proud Boys had come to hundreds of them to the east part of the Capitol building hours before the president's speech even began. They were starting to form. And that they had planned all of this well ahead of time. And that they were ready for this before the speech, the night before they were ready for this. So listening to the testimony of not just the politicians that were there, but the witnesses, the eyewitnesses, the people who were right there at that moment in time, living and breathing it while we watched on TV. Officer Carolyn Edwards, hey, and big props to her, knocked out, gets back up and starts punching again. Good girl. You're my kind of woman. Because God knows that's what I would do. I just, listening to her talk and thinking about how she had to live this and relive this and live it again so we could all live it with her. And yet her sacrifice means nothing to Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and mark my words, when they figure out who planted those bombs, I'm thinking MTG had something to do with it. Sure looks like her, that arm swing. Pretty distinctive, Marjorie. But anyway, I just wanted to recap what we heard today. I was horrified. I mean, absolutely horrified, to the point where I sent out a tweet partway through it because I was so horrified to have to live it again. No, I don't have PTSD. I was just horrified, shocked and horrified that this could ever happen in the United States, that there was a concerted effort to overturn an election, to keep Donald Trump in office in perpetuity at any cost, any and every cost, that no lie, no action, no deed, no words were too wrong to say or do, that everything was on the table. And anyone and everyone who was a follower, responder, aficionado of Orange Caligula was welcome to come there, invited December 19th to come to Washington, D.C. on January 6th, because all hell was going to break loose. That's what he was telling them to stand by, stand down, stand by, stand ready, all of those things. We came so close to losing our democracy that day. So closer than any of us have realized yet. I'm sure we're going to find out more later. A lot of planning went into this. And if you don't think that there's more planning going on right now, more subversive behavior, more details being planned, more horrible things coming around in this coming election and the election to follow, you are wrong. Because it's coming. That was just a warm-up. They just wanted to see how far they could get, and when they got in so easily, when they breached those barriers with hardly any resistance, yes, we could have had the National Guard there. Yes, we could have had ATF there. Yes, we could have had the Washington, D.C. police force there. Yes, more Capitol Police could have been there. Yes, so many different things could have happened, but they were not deployed because they were told not to deploy. The Capitol Police that were there were the sacrificial lambs for Donald J. Trump. He would have gotten off on Pence being hung in his honor. For a pervert like him, that's the ultimate. People willing to die for his cause, for him, in his name. And he's still whipping people up. Just whipping people up all the time. Thank God he's off Twitter. And thank God he's really pretty obscure at this point. It's really difficult to hear words come out of his mouth, thank God, because they're repulsive. Every time that moron opens his mouth, my skin crawls. And it always has. Even since the 70s, I found him repugnant. Absolutely repugnant. And the fact that he became president, and I don't think legally. I think when history is written 100 years from now, we'll realize that he never really was president. You can't erase what happened. You can't erase history. You can only tell it truthfully and honestly, with integrity, and try very hard to help people learn a lesson from this. Because we cannot sit down. We cannot be quiet. We cannot sit on our hands. We must rise up as one and vote in numbers too big to ignore, too big to overturn, too big to discount. You have to remember, we have people running for the Senate and people running for the House of Representatives right now at a federal and state level. Everybody from your county board members to your school board members that still embrace Trump and the big lie. Look at J.D. Kiss-Ass Vance. And God, am I so sorry I ever read his damn book. Because it really wasn't that good. I didn't finish it all the way because I'm like, I can see what's coming here. You don't like your situation. Instead of fixing it, you get the hell out. You move somewhere else. Shame on Glenn Close for agreeing to star in that tripe. I didn't watch it. And I love her. But, you know, here in my hand I have a little letter here from Tim Ryan, who's running against J.D. Vance. I suggest everybody give him a little cash. Better yet, go out and volunteer for his campaign because he's going to need a lot. He's going to need a lot to beat that guy. Ohio. What a place you've become. And you're awful close to us. There's just that scuzzy little Indiana between us. Ugh. Murray and I drove through Indiana one day. Do you know every 30-ish miles driving down 65 south, there's a negative God installation? God is watching you. Yeah? Repent! I was a Sunday school teacher for 22 years. I know that you don't shame people into faith. You just don't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But I just want you to know that they walk among us. They live and breathe and walk among us. Just yesterday, I stopped my husband from buying something off of Facebook Marketplace because there was Trump merch in the background. I'm like, nope, you're not buying that. Not from that guy. So it's out there. And I just want you to know that we got to work harder than we've ever worked in our lives. We have got to bust our asses this election cycle. Do everything we can. Try to make a difference. Be the difference. Remember my old saying, vote.org. Go check your voter registration right now. Make sure you're ready to vote in the primary. Go and take an absentee ballot or go and vote early. Just go and get it done. Get it off your plate so you don't have to worry about it. Because that's how we vote in numbers too big to ignore. We do it now while we can, while there's nothing else out there. The positions of the people who are running aren't going to change. Either you like them or you don't. You know, yeah, there could be a late month surprise, but I doubt it. Not too much in the primary. That doesn't really happen. You just need to get out there and do it. And then once you're done with that, start making your plan for election day in November. You know, that's a day off. It's a federal holiday. So vote early so you can have an extra day to do nothing, to just kind of hang out, to have lunch with friends, have coffee in the morning, do something wonderful, treat yourself, because you're going to get it done. You're going to do it early. And you're going to spread the word of vote.org to everybody you hear from, everybody you know, everybody you don't know. You're just going to tell them, get out there and vote. Check your voter registration status. Do it now. Do it tonight. Stop what you're doing right now. Stop watching me and do it. That's what you've got to do. Because, listen, this was just a warm-up. Now that they know what they can get away with, they're going to do more. We've got several more nights of this to watch. Oh, days, actually. We've got this, as long as we bust our ass to get it done. I just want you to know that. Okay? So listen, I want to tell you thank you for tuning in for this last minute recap. I can't even recap it too much because it's just so stunning to see again. Just so stunning. In your entire life, did you ever think you would see that? By our own citizens, by people we work with, shop with, go to school with, hang out with, go to church with, whatever. I'm still stunned. I'm stunned all over again seeing it. And we can't let it ever happen again. So please, do your part. Get out and vote. This is Heidi Henry with the Heartland Mamas, MAMAS.com. Find us on all podcast platforms, YouTube, and proudly part of the Demcast USA network. Thanks again for tuning in and letting me rant for a little bit. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.